Clair Obscur 2?
No.
Are you sure it's not Clair Obscur 2?
Yes.
But it looks like Clair Obscur.
It's freaking not Clair Obscur 2. This is all I've been reading since the release of the remake trailer of Sword and Fairy 4. Clair Obscur this and Clair Obscur that. And listen. I agree. Yes, I to some degree I agree. It's awfully similar to Clair Obscur in many aspects. But it's not. This thing existed way before Clair Obscur was even a freaking idea. And honestly, nowadays, people are surprising me a lot. They tend to call every new game the next this or this copied that. Guys, there is a huge difference between a new game and an old game that's getting a remake. Sword and Fairy 4 was released in 2007, 18 freaking years ago. And I get it, I really do. I get why people are triggered by this trailer. It could have been because of the cinematic combat, or because of that wheel UI thingy, or simply because someone's way too obsessed with Clair Obscur that they've mistaken loyalty for freaking madness. In all cases, guys, before we judge Sword and Fairy 4 too harshly, how about if we dive a bit into its history to get a better understanding? Oh, and please, excuse my faint voice as I'm having a very crappy cold today that decided to start the moment I wanted to record this video. So,
Talk about a kick in the nuts, huh?
let's find out more about Sword and Fairy. Because guys, this series wasn't born yesterday and didn't decide to start an uprising all of a sudden. This thing was launched in 1995. I am not talking about Sword and Fairy 4, I am talking about the original Sword and Fairy, or I think the Legend of Sword and Fairy. This thing was launched in the MS-DOS era, which I didn't even know what it meant before I had to go and search for it. And when I did, guys, were games even a thing back then? I mean, I think if you launched Sword and Fairy or any other game, it will get your PC down to its knees begging for freaking mercy. Now, the original game, it was basically China's answer to Final Fantasy. Heavy mythology, tragic romance, destiny, immortals, and enough crying to make you question why happiness even exists in freaking video games. And did it work? Oh, it worked. It worked big time. Just not for us. Because while this series became a massive deal in East Asia, it never really crossed over. It didn't have a proper localization, it wasn't pushed enough in marketing, there was no Western nostalgia attached to it. So to a lot of people, Sword and Fairy feels new simply because they're hearing about it for the first time, which is sort of unusual because the franchise has been quietly evolving for decades. And when I say quietly, I mean 9 major releases and 15 freaking spin-offs.
And a TCG.
So what I'm saying is, over the years, Sword and Fairy kept releasing mainline entries and spin-offs, experimenting with combat styles, tone, and presenting the game overall. Some games leaned hard into turn-based systems, some focused more on story and relationships, others tried new mechanical ideas just to see what stuck. I mean, it wasn't exactly a static formula, it wasn't exactly stuck on one thing, it was just doing its own thing. Now let's fast forward to 2021, and we got Sword and Fairy 7. Which, by the way, ditched turn-based combat entirely and went real full-time action. That game did make it to PC and consoles globally, and for a lot of players, that was their first exposure to the franchise, including mine. Yep, I played it for exactly
39 minutes before refunding.
No, I won't enter into a detailed review, and listen, in my defense, I'm not really much of a story-driven games kind of player, so I ended up refunding it after 39 excruciating minutes.
Oh, and that was me skipping the endless cutscenes. But hey, you might like it.
So, give it a shot. It's currently discounted by 60% for the original game and 54% for the bundle, which I recommend getting because apparently the ending is in the DLC.
I mean, okay, EA, Happy New Year's to you too, I guess.
Now let's drag Sword and Fairy 4 back into the picture. The original, like we mentioned, was released in 2007, and it's widely considered one of the better entries in the series. And this fan favorite isn't just getting an upscaled texture and the developers will call it a day. No. They decided to fully remake it. We're talking new engine, new combat framing, new everything. I mean visually this thing is freaking absurd. Then again, it's being done in Unreal Engine 5, and Unreal Engine 5 does what Unreal Engine 5 always does best. Amazing lighting, hyper clean environments, characters glowing like they're about to deliver a life-altering freaking monologue. Everything looks new, everything looks beautiful. Trust me, I don't think you would get the vibe of a budget remake. Combat-wise, it still appears to be turn-based, but it's been modernized in how it's being shown. Awesome cinematic angles, dynamic cameras, flashy animations, slowdowns, and now that infamous command wheel integrated directly into the scene instead of shoved off to the side.
Like it's embarrassed to exist.
Their goal is crystal clear. Make turn-based combat feel alive instead of procedural. Now, I wish I could get into more details, but they are still vague. I mean, I don't have a full breakdown of system changes, balance tweaks, or new mechanics yet. But it is obvious. It is extremely obvious what they are trying to do, and they are not just trying to cash in on the nostalgia alone. They're trying to reintroduce Sword and Fairy to an audience that never got the memo the first time around. And this is why I think this is important context. Because, guys, once you understand where this series actually comes from, the whole trend-chasing accusations, they start to lighten up a bit. The moment everyone was waiting for. The inevitable Clair Obscur comparison. Is this Clair Obscur 2? Is this a Clair Obscur copycat? Is this plagiarism? Let me try and give you my perspective on this. The remake of Sword and Fairy 4 looks extremely similar to Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The combat, camera, slow motion hits, and even that damn wheel UI thingy. I get it. Your brain starts connecting dots. That's normal, guys. What's not normal though is immediately jumping from this reminds me of Clair Obscur to this is copying Clair Obscur. Because, guys, if we're even being slightly honest, Clair Obscur didn't invent this style, guys. Stylish turn-based combat has been evolving for years. Games like Persona 5 were already making menus feel like part of the action. Final Fantasy experimented with cinematic combat framing long before that. The genre has been inching in this direction forever. Clair Obscur just perfected the formula and dropped it at the exact right time. And when something blows up like that, guys, we all know what happens. Everything that comes after, it gets filtered through that success. That's how gaming works. And that's how the internet works too. We no longer ask, what is this? Instead, we ask, what does this remind me of? And once a comparison sticks, it becomes the entire identity of the game, whether it's fair or not. And what really bothers me is how quickly that comparison turns into a dismissal, especially when it comes to non-Western games. Sword and Fairy isn't borrowing credibility from Clair Obscur. I mean, guys, it doesn't need to. It has its own history, it has its own audience, and its own thing that existed long before people were even aware of it. And in no way, I think it's hypocritical for you, me, or anyone to like both. I mean, that idea is insane on its own. You, as a gamer, are allowed to enjoy Clair Obscur and be excited for the remake of Sword and Fairy 4. I mean, guys, come on. This isn't some test of loyalty. You're not betraying anyone. You're playing video games. Actually, if anything, this situation should be a good thing. It means turn-based RPGs are finally getting budget. They are finally getting the respect they deserve again. And it finally means developers are no longer afraid to make the genre look amazing instead of simply safe. So, do I think the remake of Sword and Fairy 4 is the same as Clair Obscur? No. This is an old series stepping into the modern spotlight and accidentally getting mistaken for the last thing that impressed everyone.
And impress everyone, Clair Obscur did.
And guys, if I'm gonna be real with you, if this leads to more games like this instead of another soulless open world full of map icons and busy work, hey, I'm not complaining at all. What do you guys think? Do you share my beliefs that the remake of Sword and Fairy 4 is its own thing, or do you believe it copy-pasted Clair Obscur? Drop your thoughts down below.
And I will consider dropping my own version of Super Mario and calling it The Rise of Little LT.
And guys, thank you once again for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content in the future. Take care and I'll see you in the next one.